Welcome to Whispering Coffin, where stories aren't just told, they're felt. Because in Whispering Coffin, every story is a secret, and every secret is connected to someone's death.
It was 2 a.m. The silence in my room was so deep that I could barely hear my own breathing. I was tired and just wanted to sleep, but as I closed my eyes, a strange shudder swept through me, that feeling you get when you realize you're not alone. I turned over and turned to face the wall, but I felt a gust of cold air against the back of my neck. It felt as if someone was breathing right behind me. I gathered my courage and turned back. The room was empty. The cupboard door was slightly open, and darkness peeped in. I thought it might be my imagination, so I closed my eyes again. But this time, I heard a faint scratching sound, like someone scratching wood. Critch. 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 The sound was coming from under the bed. My heart pounded. I grabbed my blanket tightly, as if it would save me. Then I saw something that made my blood run cold. The surface of the water in the glass on the side table was rippling. I couldn't see anyone moving in the room, but the bed was slowly pressing down, as if something heavy was creeping up from my feet. I opened my eyes slightly in fear. On the ceiling, in a corner, there was something. A dark, blurry shadow, something that looked human, but its hands and feet were strangely withered. He was looking straight into my eyes. His eyes were not thin, just 2 empty, deep cavities. He bent down, his face just inches from mine. He opened his mouth and made a sound that was heavenly. I jerked myself with all my might and jumped out of bed and ran towards the door. The pounding in my heart was pounding in my ears. I switched on the room light, but the bulb was blown out. Only a thin sliver of streetlight was coming in through the crack. I turned and looked at the bed. There was no one there. But the blanket was still shaking as if someone was breathing beneath it. Slowly, the blanket started sliding down. I noticed a deep depression forming in the middle of the bed, as if something heavy was sitting there. Again, I heard the same whisper, but this time it was very close to my ears. You can't run away. I've chosen you. Frightened, I opened the room door and ran into the corridor, but the corridor seemed endless. Every door I opened brought me back to the same dark room where the same blanket was fluttering on the bed. I collapsed onto the floor, exhausted. Then I saw that my shadow wasn't alone on the wall. Next to my shadow was another tall, wiry shadow, its hand on my shadow's neck. I felt my tail suffocate. I looked up and saw the same thing lying face down, its hair touching the ground, and black water dripping from its mouth. Look at me, it commanded. I mustered up the courage, closed my eyes, and started screaming loudly. The very next moment, someone shook me hard. Son. What happened? Get up. When I opened my eyes, it was morning. My mother stood before me, distraught. I was drenched in sweat. Thankfully, it was just a bad dream, or maybe not. When my mother left the room, I removed the blanket to straighten the sheets. On the bed sheet, right where my foot had been, there was a black, burnt handprint. And on my wrist, there were 5 blue marks, as if someone had held me very hard at night.